Hi everyone, it's time finally to talk a little bit about what you can expect in the next update coming for Fellowship. You may have seen in the announcements channel on Discord yesterday that I did jump the gun a little bit and let slip that the 19th of February is our target date for that reset, the update, all of the new stuff that's coming for Fellowship. So we're really excited to start talking about that and get that update out to you very soon. So in this video, basically what I want to do is give you a very top level overview of what you can expect. And then in the coming weeks, we will go into detail on each of those features and all the cool new stuff that we have coming to Fellowship. All right, let's go. So as we head from preseason 1 into preseason 2, I wanted to be very clear again on what you can expect that seasonal reset kind of thing to look like for your account. Basically, all of your heroes will have their progression reset, that's gear, abilities, talents. What you will retain are your cosmetics that you've earned, the ones that you've purchased through our events or through the vendors that you've seen in the game, the mounts that you've unlocked, but the one stipulation that we have there is that the trims that you've earned through the leaderboards, those will be reset because those are tied to the seasonality of those leaderboards. The other question we get a lot is what will happen to my currencies and those sorts of things. If you do have them on your account, those will be reset on February 19th. So spend. Make sure you get rid of it so you absolutely don't miss out on any value. We really want to make sure that preseason 2 is a fair start for everyone across the board, rather than having people who've hoarded all of this wealth and then just run away up the leaderboards and have like this kind of trivialized experience compared to everyone else. We think a fair start makes the most sense for Fellowship going into preseason 2. Just quickly jumping back to the abilities and talents and the hero progression reset and that clean slate that we're aiming for, there is another element that is part of that equation that is entirely new. So players will be able to re-earn abilities and talents, or that left side of their rewards track, through some new systems that have never existed before, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The reset really helps ensure that balance and clarity that we're aiming for across the whole player base going forward. I do have some really good news about the new heroes that I gave a sneak peek of with their concept art just before Christmas, and it's looking more and more likely that both of those will be in for this reset. So the team are really confident that that will be the reality on February 19th. A new tank and a new healer. The working names that we have for them, the kind of placeholder code names Suna and Lisa, will not be their names going forward. We are landing on some new ones that I'm very excited about. But I will be holding off a bit more news about those heroes as we get closer to the February 19th date. But the good news is that they will, 99% sure, both be in that update. And also, I jumped into the game like yesterday. The character models are so cool. I can't wait for you to see them and all of the cosmetics as well. It's just off the charts. I'm very excited. One of our biggest focuses for this update is that the new player experience is vastly improved from what we had at day 1 of early access. We saw that a lot of players who understood this genre were running away and having a great time with everything that they understood, but we didn't necessarily have a lot of ways for new players to jump in and feel comfortable and interact with a lot of our systems in a way that was not stressful, easy to grasp, and gave them a chance to practice. So we have a new play space that we are kind of codenaming the Forest Meadow. That is very placeholder, but it should give you an idea of the kind of relaxed vibes that we're looking for this space. So whenever we add new features to Fellowship, one of the big things we need to answer is why. What problems is this solving? And we feel like this is a really great way for us to improve the onboarding and learning experience for new players. We also, as a secondary benefit, wanted to give players something meaningful to do while waiting in queue. One of the things we saw a lot of people talking about is that when you're in the stronghold and you're waiting for the queue and trying to put groups together, there's not really anything to do. So that's another reason we created this Forest Meadow. We also think this is a great way, especially with our expanding hero roster, for people to experience new skills and abilities in real combat situations without pressure. In the coming weeks, I'll be putting together a deep dive on the Forest Meadow so everyone knows absolutely everything they need to know about it. But what you need to know right now is that it's going to be a drop-in and drop-out space. If you're in the stronghold and you just want to go in for a few minutes while you're waiting for a queue, you can do that. If you want to spend hours in there, you can do that too, and that's absolutely fine. Especially since, you're going to be unlocking that left side of your tree. There's going to be certain objectives in there. There's going to be mobs that respawn, some little objectives and quests that you can fulfill. And those will also, get you through unlocking various skills and abilities in a similar way that you've had linked to dungeon completions in Pre-Season 1. In Pre-Season 2, there's going to be other ways to unlock that. So we're very excited about that. And like I said, a full deep dive on this feature coming very soon. There's a lot of details to talk about. We do, of course, want to make some meaningful hero updates and balance changes to the existing hero roster inside of Fellowship. I did mention a few weeks ago that, for example, Tarek's swing timer mechanic is going to be switched around a little bit. When I spoke to Axel recently as well, there's things that we're looking at, like Mara's bleed builds that were underperforming. And we're really looking at, where those low-hanging fruit are and making sure that we can bring up some of those underperforming heroes. But we'll go into that full list of changes a little bit closer to February 19th. To be clear, we're not looking at adding any brand new hero abilities to the existing toolkits of the hero roster that exists in the game right now. But if I was to say where I think most of those changes would happen, it'll likely be on the talent tree level. People have been asking about when we'll be adding new cosmetic options to the game and how they can purchase those, and we are adding the in-game store in the February 19th update. And while this update won't focus heavily on the monetization details, we're really excited to give people who have been asking other ways to support the game and also get some cool looking cosmetics. Exactly how that'll work, and also as an excuse to show off a bunch of cool new cosmetics, that information will come very soon, and I'll definitely want to make a video about that once it's all ready. So while February 19th is our absolute target for this update, there are a bunch of features that likely won't be in on day one of that update, but are going to be very critical in this kind of update cycle. We've seen from feedback, and honestly, we knew this already, that from the day one launch of Early Access, Fellowship had a lot to gain in terms of the way that people could communicate in-game, create subgroups, talk to people, and that's something that we absolutely want to focus on in this next stage of the update. So what we're calling our communities feature is a way that we can achieve just that. So the TLDR of this is that people will be able to create and join groups using this feature. They will have shared chats and member lists. So if I want to create a group of members that's solely focused on a single task, like progressing at a certain stage of Eternal, I can do exactly that. We can talk amongst ourselves and create in-game groups to go and do that specific task. If I also am a complete beginner and I want to focus on taking the game at my own pace and I want to be able to create in-game groups from people from that list, I can do that too. We know that people have really different goals and interests, and we want to make sure that we support ways for people to find their people. Look, if you're interested in doing just RP inside of Fellowship and you want to find your people that are interested in that too, you can do that with this feature. You'll also be able to join as many communities as you want. And one of the things I'm really excited about is you'll be able to kind of set a primary community, and we're thinking that maybe you can even display that as a tag on your profile or under your hero name, and people will kind of, I think, start using this as a soft guild or clan system. So I'm really, really excited to see where we can take this feature. One of the other features that we've been working away on in the shadows is the profile customization. It may show up on February 19th or it may come in the following weeks, but nonetheless, it's going to be really, really cool. We're going to keep it intentionally lightweight at first, and there will be more depth introduced over time. But think of it like your player business card. So we're looking at frames, backgrounds, titles, and icons, and those sorts of things that you can show off in all different places in the game. More details on that very, very soon. Like I said, today's video is not going to be an exhaustive laundry list of absolutely everything that is coming in the February 19th update. We will get to that closer to the date, and maybe we could put together an absolutely mammoth video on everything that's going there. But one of the things that the team are focusing on is just the general improvements to the game, the ongoing UI improvements. Oh, there is actually one that I think is very cool, and it's been requested for a long time. You've seen me struggle with it personally on the stream as well, but hero-specific keybinds should be in as well on February 19th. Anyway, there'll be a full list of things coming very soon, but I wanted to make sure that you knew about those keybinds. So as you can see, the team have been really busy on putting as much as they can into this next update. It's going to be huge. I mean, we've got those 2 new heroes, which is going to be massive for players who are looking for new things to do in the game. And obviously, we've put a huge focus on that new player experience and general improvements to the core gameplay loop, so we can get as many people in and enjoying the game as possible. The team are 100% committed to the long-term health and accessibility of Fellowship, so we can't wait to see what you think of all of the effort that the team have been putting into the game. And like I said, there's going to be a bunch of deep dive videos coming soon on everything that I've mentioned before, and a bunch of things that I haven't even talked about yet. So we will see you again very soon and very probably regularly here on this channel. All right, see you soon. Bye.